I'm 38 woman and I was in a 2-year relationship with a very jealous, controlling man who had a young son. During those years, my parents absolutely adored him and his child. They even took his son during school holidays and treated him like family. When I finally ended the relationship because his jealousy and control became unbearable, my parents were devastated. I had to explain my reasons in front of my ex, and during that conversation, he actually said, right in front of my parents, that his jealousy wouldn't have happened if our bed life had been better. I was speechless. My mom, who had grown very attached to his son, insisted on staying in contact with him and even offered to continue having him during school holidays. I didn't object. The kid needed stability and care, something his dad clearly didn't provide. For context, his child was unplanned, and he never really wanted him. Out of pity, I also let my ex stay in the small apartment we co-owned because he was still in an internship and needed time to find a place. Long story short, things escalated, police got involved, and he eventually moved out 3 months later into an apartment with his new girlfriend. Since January 2023, we've had zero contact. Then came Easter 2023. At the family table, my mom casually told his son that she'd gladly invite his dad and girlfriend over to our house. I was stunned and hurt. I asked her why she would do that. Her answer, it's for the kids' well-being, to keep things nice. By December, it got worse. I arrived for Christmas and noticed my mom still had photos of my ex displayed. I said nothing, but during dessert, his son asked my dad if he was going to drink the wine his dad gave him. My dad replied he'd wait to drink it here at the house with him. That was it for me. I walked away from the table, furious and hurt. My parents followed me to talk. I told them how devastated I was that they kept prioritizing my ex and dismissing everything I went through, mentally and physically. My dad recognized what he did, apologized sincerely, and I accepted it. My mom didn't apologize. She told me, it's my house. I can invite whoever I want. I told her a family home should be a safe place, and I didn't feel safe anymore, so I left. I haven't gone back since. In November 2024, she sent me a 2-page letter, no apology, just telling me I should return to therapy. I confronted her in person. For 25 minutes, she repeated the same thing. I can welcome whoever I love into my home. So I walked away again. At Christmas 2024, her twin sister asked if I was coming. When I asked if my ex would be there, she gave the same answer. It's my house, I'll invite who I want. So I cut contact with her too. She had also been close with my ex and his son. I only talk to my dad now. It's 2025 and he keeps saying I should get over it and that it's not a big deal. I'm questioning myself, but I can't shake the feeling that I did the right thing. Update. AITA for cutting my mom out of my life because she chose my ex over me. Part 2. This morning I woke up to tons of comments and I'm still reading through them. Thank you all, your insights really helped. I already had support from friends and one cousin, but sometimes you can't know if they're being fully honest or just supportive because they care. Hearing perspectives from people outside my circle helped me realize this situation is truly toxic, and I am right to protect myself. It also gives me a chance to collect more context. My dad, 67, keeps insisting the family should get back together for dinners. He says my mom, 61, didn't appreciate being told what to do in her own home and still doesn't understand why I'm distant. I reminded him that she made her choice when she prioritized my ex over me, and even people around us agree her behavior was inappropriate. Recently, he told me family and friends don't understand my behavior toward them. I said if he refuses to understand, I'll just share my story publicly and let others judge for themselves. Some people suggested family therapy, others said it wouldn't help. I'm still considering it. 15 years ago, we did therapy for issues between my dad and brother, but I felt completely left out. Everything revolved around them. Therapy might help with confrontation, or it might be better to stay fully no contact and protect my peace. I haven't decided yet. A few months ago, I was diagnosed with ADHD. I cried with relief, but also felt anger. My brother had been diagnosed early and got all the support he needed. Meanwhile, when I struggled in school, I was called lazy. At 21, I was diagnosed with dyslexia, which proved my mom wrong after years of dismissing me. When she learned about my ADHD diagnosis recently through my dad, she took his phone and left a message in our private conversation saying it was not new and that I had been tested at 6, adding that I shouldn't make such a fuss. I was furious and felt betrayed. My brother got support. I got neglected. That shattered any remaining trust. This has me questioning if therapy could even repair what's broken. I've started setting boundaries. I refuse to give them my new address to avoid unsolicited visits or mail, protecting my peace as much as possible. Some said if my dad tells me to get over it, he's siding with my mom. I'm unsure. Maybe he's just avoiding conflict. Part of me wonders if I'm making excuses because it's hard to cut ties with someone who apologized and validated my feelings. But also, I feel he's never had the full picture himself. Clarifying some details. According to my dad, my ex never came to their house. I don't know if I can fully trust him. He might be saying this to convince me to come back, or it could be true. Either way, it doesn't change the fact that my mom has repeatedly prioritized my ex and his child over me. I'm child-free and had my tubes tied long ago. I love kids and work with them, and I accepted my ex's child with open arms. My mom, however, always wanted to be a grandma. I said my brother could have kids, but not me. Many commenters pointed out that she's fulfilling her grandma dream with my ex's child, also trying to save him from his father's home. She knew about my ex's violent behavior. I showed her physical evidence, a fist mark on a bed frame, a hole he kicked in a door, proof of anger issues, and she still chose to keep supporting him. About his new girlfriend and his child, I've heard he kept her at a distance, likely to maintain control over the holidays and ensure his parents, my parents, remained central in the child's life. To this day, the child still spends school holidays with my parents. A few months ago, another woman contacted me, saying she had dated my ex briefly. She found my contact info through social media because my ex had claimed he was struggling emotionally due to his mother recently dying, which was false. I showed the messages to my dad. He doubted it until he saw the proof. I don't know if my mom ever knew. It took me 2.5 years to rebuild after that toxic relationship. I've now found a new family, a loving, caring, protective partner who treats me with respect and trust. Every time I tried to set boundaries, I was made to feel like the problem. But reading all your comments has validated my feelings. Stepping back doesn't make me a bad person. Protecting my peace is necessary. Thank you all again. I'll provide another update if anything changes. Take care, and thank you for the support.
I work at a company where my coworker, let's call her Kate, recently got promoted to a team lead role. For context, I was also in consideration for this role and was actually the second choice if she didn't accept. Naturally, I was a little disappointed, but I've only been at the company for 4 months, compared to Kate's 2 years. My managers, Stacy, and my dotted line manager, Josh, have already given me projects to boost my visibility, so I know I'll have my chance for promotion in a few months. But these past 2 weeks since Kate accepted the role have been chaotic. Here's a snapshot of what's happened. During the interview process, Kate told me and other candidates not to bother applying because the role was made for me, and the interviews were just a formality. One internal candidate even withdrew their application because of this, and they told Stacy and Josh why. Kate announced her promotion to the team even though Stacy and Josh explicitly asked her to wait. They wanted to handle it themselves to answer any questions about how the promotion would affect the team structure. She disclosed personal details about Stacy and Josh to the team, including family emergencies, which they hadn't shared. Kate discussed my pay raise publicly without my presence. I'm not opposed to salary transparency in general, but coming from someone in a management-adjacent role felt inappropriate. She compared team members' performance goals and areas of improvement in front of everyone. For example, "Hey, can you let Jane work on this? Stacy put Jane on a PIP and this will help her strengthen that skill." The entire team is uncomfortable, and I'm honestly at a loss for how to navigate this. Some of us considered approaching Stacy and Josh together, but with the internal candidate who withdrew no longer participating, it doesn't feel like a strong group. And I worry about optics since I was also up for the promotion.
Update 2.5 months later. These past 6 weeks were some of the most chaotic of my life. I took readers' advice and applied for a new job, and it happened fast. The same day my post went up, I was invited to apply to one of the top companies in my field. I applied thinking I'd probably never hear back. 8 hours later, they scheduled an interview. 4 days later, I had an offer in hand. I was thrilled. The way Stacy and Kate treated me after I told them about the offer confirmed my decision to leave. I let them make a counteroffer as a courtesy. Stacy was pushing hard for me to stay. A week later, they returned with an offer, a one-time payment that was less than what I made in a single week of bartending tips. And I'd have to train the new hire because Kate had no clue how to. I politely declined. Of course, Kate found out and told the entire office. When I declined, Stacy insisted I give a full 2 weeks' notice to end things nicely. But she had already burned a week with the low counteroffer, and for the rest of my notice, she and Kate ignored me. Josh, thankfully, was incredibly supportive and excited for me, but it didn't erase the sting of being ignored. Now, 3 weeks into my new job, I absolutely love it. My teammates are friendly and inclusive, my leadership is amazing, and my clients are welcoming. My boss pulled out all the stops, paying for my relocation and letting me work remotely in my home state until the fall. The takeaway? In today's job market, employees have the power. You don't have to stay in a toxic situation. Opportunities exist if you're willing to take the leap. Update 2. 10.5 months from first post, 8 months after first update. It's been a while since my last update, right after I started my new job. I still have a contact at my old company, and here's what I know. Both Josh and Stacy have been promoted since I left. It seems they didn't want to rock the boat over Kate and risk their own promotions. The head of the department apparently believes Kate will raise the team's service level. Kate is still managing a small team of 3. From what I can see, her usual behavior continues. She bragged on LinkedIn about a project she completed on her own, but she actually posted my original outline with my watermark. It's interesting how they found budget for that after I left. The employee I was training during my last 2 weeks has since left, apparently back in October, and I don't see any new job listed for him. Also, Kate's team still has multiple open positions they haven't been able to fill. As for me, I've now been at my new job for 9 months, and I'm truly thriving. Of course, no job is perfect, but my management team listens to my ideas, and I've been able to implement several successfully. I also did really well in my annual review and client surveys, which has led to more responsibilities and a fair pay adjustment. Thank you again to everyone for the advice and support. It really helped me make the leap and build a better work environment for myself.